so the question, the question states, if we go back to the question, it states, select all passengers traveling to Cape Town. So if I go here, I say, select star from passengers. It just says display all passengers, so it doesn't specifically state which fields to display. So I said select display star because it didn't specifically state which fields. So I say select star from passengers where destination where nation is equal to Cape Town. Now, because it's a text field, now I know a lot of people don't like, a lot of people prefer it if it gets separated onto different lines. So you can do your select statement from there. Some people would prefer it even there. So select star, so select what fields you want from what table where destination is equal to Cape Town. Now, close inverted commas, good spin. And then now when you run it, you'll see there that these are all the ones that come from Cape Town. In some ways, it's kind of a bit useless to actually display the destination, but it didn't really specify that. All right. Something came up with an error. Reading untagged document. Uh-oh.
Oh, it was assistive technology there.
Now, on from there, we move to the next question. So that question is very easy, right? Now it says write a query that will display the baggage from the your baggage table. Your query should display the baggage type only once. An example of output is given below. Other parcel, sporting equipment, suitcase. Now, there is different ways of doing this. You could use the group by function, but the easiest way of doing this is it's asking select. So remember, you always look, when you're doing a select statement, you're always saying, okay, what fields do I want to display? In this case, all we want to display is baggage type. Well, my mouse should be over here, actually. So all I'm wanting to display is my baggage type from table baggage. So the table is called baggage. Now, this will just display everything. Now, we only want to display every single unique one, so you use the classifier distinct. So you just say, I want distinct to the front. And now, if you want to go with my naming convention, I like to put capital letters when it's an SQL statement, but realize that's not law. It's just because I feel like it. So now you'll see it'll only display the baggage types that are unique. So distinct is how you would retrieve that. Now, the next question states, also easy enough, the next question states, Francis Porter's suitcase has been stolen, baggage ID 24042. Write an SQL statement that will add an entry to the claims table using 16 as the claim ID for your new entry. Now, this is quite interesting. In this database, because it says using 16 as the claim ID for your entry, it means that claim ID is not an automatically generated number. You must take a look. If the field or the entry, if I go to the design view of here, you see this is a number field. Often what it could be is I would create it as an automatic number, which means that your database system, oh, hello, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. It would mean that my database would automatically generate the primary key. But in this case, it's not. It's just a number field, so I'll have to do it. So in which case, you're going to do an insert statement. So you go insert into, and what table are we inserting into? So claims. And then what you would do is you have open brackets. You could list the fields. I want to put the fields in the new line. So we would want claim ID, comma, baggage ID, comma, description, and those are the fields listed. We then want the values, open brackets. Do you want that on a separate field, or does it look better just to be on Wella?
So keep it there. Let's go.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in brackets here, so you can see the brackets over there, and the values I can do the same. So you just see that it's in brackets. So those are the fields you're going to be adding. Now the claim ID tells me it wants it to be 16. The baggage ID was passenger 14. Now that's interesting.
No.
240402. I was thinking it was going to be more complicated. Okay, so baggage ID 240402.
And then stolen.
Comma. And the reasoning is stolen. Okay, now this is text, so you put it in inverted commas. Stolen. Again, as I said, you can use double inverted commas here. I just use signal because it deals with it directly. Now, if you want to test this in Access, and if you're using what's that one, the SQL browser, You'd run it, and it'll say you're about to append a record. I don't know if it tells you that message in browser. I don't think it does.
Says cannot display.
It cannot display results, which is a bit annoying. Here it'll ask you about to append one row. I'm not going to append it, but I know it works. So I'll copy and I'll paste this into the Word document. Anyway, that's that one done. Now, the next question states there, question 1.4. Shanna Woodward, passenger ID 14, has decided that she would rather take her baggage on the plane as hand luggage and not check it in. Writes a query that will remove all entries about her baggage from the baggage table. Now, yes, I did.
Go out of it. That's point.
We're at 2.4. It says passenger ID 4 has decided to take all her luggage out from there. Now, the main thing here, this is a very interesting question, because remember I told you you'd always delete by a primary key because you wanted to delete only one record. But in this case, we're deleting baggage by a non-primary key field, because we're not deleting by baggage ID, we're deleting by passenger ID. But that's because we want this delete to delete more than an individual record. Does that make sense? We want it to delete multiple records. So that's why we're not deleting by the primary key, but it's because the question is pretty much dictated that it wants more than one record deleted. If it only wants one record deleted, you'd have to delete only by that. Anyway, now, so in this case, it's an easy statement. Delete from, what's the table name? Baggage, where passenger ID is equal to 14. Happy birthday, right? Easy as that. When I run it, it will say, you are about to delete 2 records, and you would go, I'm going to go no, but yeah. Yes, that query works.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, delete.
Streamers.
Now, streamers, yes. Now, the next question.
Oh, yes, David's birthday. So happy birthday, Liam.
Yeah, oh, we didn't find a video. Okay, guys. What we're going to do is, it says here, the reference field in claims has been left blank. It's asking you now to construct it by taking the last 4 digits, blah, blah. So it takes first 2 letters of description and the last 4 digits of in the claims. Write the query as follows, and by the looks, it needs to update it to the reference. Now, this is quite interesting. First thing I just want to show you guys with this is how to actually only get that information. So if I said select, and now remember you would say the fields that you wanted to select. What you can do is say left, open brackets, it wanted the description, right, of the claim. So we would go left description, comma 2, which would get the first 2 fields on the left of description. Does that make sense? And then if I put the ampersand sign, now an ampersand sign concatenates, so it appends one bit of text. Now there is a function also called concatenate, I think, but and strings as well. There's all these weird functions. Yeah, so ampersand sign's a nice easy way. So then you would say right. So left will get the left of it, right will get the
Right of it.
well done. Now, what I am a little bit, and then we would say from claims, right? Now, one thing that is a bit, baggage ID is technically a numerical data field. So I'm actually not sure if this will work, but let's just test it. Let's run. Yeah, it did. It's OT8472. So there we go. This part is working, but now it didn't just ask me to do that. It asked me to update the reference fields so that it would contain this entry. Does that make sense? So now this is quite complicated because now we have to do an update statement based on what we were trying to select here. So this statement we know works fine. But now we're wanting to add those statements into our other statements. So, tricky. So we're going to say update. The table is called claims. Set reference to equal. And then technically we want to make it equal to that. But it's not as easy as that. I don't think we can just go, okay, happy birthday, here you go, it will work. I'm just going to put this in brackets. Might help, might not. I do not think this will work. Run. Oh yeah. Solution of this, and I am guessing this, and I'm putting my failure and not actually knowing this directly or fart into the video. But basically, I think what we'd have to do is we'd have to say where, what links it, where baggage ID is equal to the baggage ID of the select statement. Huh. That's interesting.
It's your birthday. Yeah! Yeah!
I'm wondering if this will...
Get your goodie bags. Can you alright?
Doesn't like it.
Bring yeah.
Maybe, but it's the select statement here is actually not giving errors, but beforehand it just told me the error was just syntax error in select statement. So basically it's battling with getting this information across here, and I'm wondering if it's not because I have to enclose it in inverted commas, maybe. I don't know. Let's see if that will work. So basically I'm just trying now to enclose in inverted commas, seeing if that will work. Yeah, there we go. So I just enclosed it. So basically I said in inverted commas add select that information across. And now it's about to append 15 rows, and if we go yes, you'll notice there that it doesn't automatically open here, and that's because it's received it. I'd have to close claims and reopen claims if I was wanting that to happen. Does that make sense? And then now you'll see.
Reference numbers brackets. Set reference equal brackets. Yeah.
And it didn't even put the closing bracket.
Oh yeah, so that didn't work.
Okay, so no, so you need to leave the inverted comma and you need to take away the bracket in the statement, don't you?
Maybe.
Because it obviously inserted the brackets.
Yeah, let's try it. Okay, so fail.
So for someone who had 1 minute less to do that entire query, you did pretty well.
Oh, there we go, yay. So it did work now. So we now go append, yes. We close this again. And now, moment of truth. Dum dum dum.
You want to keep that going? Well, no.
But it was about to make changes to 15 rows. What happened?
It did. It took away all the brackets.
Whoa. I'm wondering if I actually do have the...
Seems like a really good teacher.
Looks like I was on my ball. I actually have a memo of this already. So let's see if my old self remembers how to do this. Old self, how do I do this? Show me. Okay, question 1 point what? Okay, so to do that...
Wait, what?
This doesn't look right.
Baggage type.
Update, here we go, look at that, there we go. Oh! There was no select statement that was needed there because you're not actually selecting all on your records, you're just saying on the actual individual one. So literally, all you're doing is instead of doing this whole fancy thing I was doing here, you're just going to literally delete the select statement because we're using the exact same record we're currently with, and that's all you're doing there, bam. And then now if I ran this, so to show you more clearly for the video purposes, that's all that needed to happen, is that. So now if we ran this, it'll run it. Are you about to pin 15 rows? Yes. We close claims. Oh, have we? Yay!
Okay, so we have to run. Sorry.
Bye.